Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the SNews here at LonghornStation.com. John Medani along with Ahmad Brooks, and today we're discussing Larry Johnson, who cleared waivers and is now essentially a free agent, free to sign with whomever wants to bring his potential drama into the locker room, because the Chiefs are on the hook for the $2 million he is still owed. We've seen the suitors. What are your thoughts? If you were LJ and the phone rang, who would you sign with?
Well, here's the deal. Let's talk about his production. You know, I think over the last 3 years, he hasn't rushed for the same amount of yards which he rushed for in 2006, which is nearly 1,800 yards. His production has been down. So it's got to be a team that's willing to take a risk on a good player. Perhaps a very similar situation like Cedric Benson a year ago. I know the circumstances are different, but here's a guy who before has shown some sparks and been pretty decent. When I start looking at it, I think of a team that needs to either put it on the ground, they're having problems with that, or they're a prolific passing team. Perhaps a team like the Arizona Cardinals, who could use a third back now or even a second. I mean, Benny Wells, he's playing decent, but to have a veteran running back like Larry Johnson, I think could help there. And any team that's below 500, that is low in the bottom, I'd say the bottom quarter of rushing yards or rushing per game, they need to look into this guy. So we're talking about the Detroits, even though they have Kevin Smith.
Oh.
Why would it not? But it would help. It would help to have an extra option.
But if you're LJ, you're not going to sign with them.
But maybe you would. I mean, teams are going down to 3-back systems, John. That's what teams are doing now. They're running with 3 effective backs. And Larry Johnson, you can't tell me is not a top 90 back in this league.
Well, I think if I'm Larry Johnson, I want to win a ring. And I think if anybody who has the potential to win a ring wants me, I'm going to look there first. I figure I've got 7, maybe 8 games to play for my next contract, which is what the opportunity said Benson got last year, and it paid off. And you look at his carries, Cincinnati has saddled him up. He has become their offense this season, so good for Set. If you're Larry Johnson, if the Colts want me, if the Saints want me, if the Steelers want me, if the Patriots want me, I'm listening to all 4 of them. Now, do they want him? Ahmad talked about his productivity. The last 3 years, he's played about 27 football games, averaged about 67 yards a game.
Not good.
Depends on how you look at it. And he's only scored 8 touchdowns. 67 yards a game in a 16-game schedule is a 1,000-yard season. Some think that's progress. I don't. I think that's weak. But at any rate, LJ could certainly get it inside the 5. If I'm Larry Johnson, I think that I'm going to sign with the Indianapolis Colts, knowing full well that they don't want Peyton to throw it inside the 10-yard line. I think I might have a shot at playing time. I think I might have a shot at a ring. But does a rookie head coach want to bring Larry Johnson in? Name a team. What team would you sign with? You're Larry Johnson.
I go Pittsburgh Steelers. I think you can help there. Willie Parker's been injured. Mendenhall looks like he's about to take over that position there. There's a place for him, and he's their type. He's their type of runner. It's cold environment. He's used to that. Maybe he could go Pittsburgh. But I also like Indianapolis. I think that's a great call.
The one thing we do know, whether it's Pittsburgh or Indianapolis, he will not be the man in the huddle on offense. Good luck, Larry. We'll see what happens. Tune in tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the SNews. You catch it every day right here at LonghornStation.com.